Hello everyone, this is CZ Gaming 10, although for the record you can just call me CZ, it's what everybody does, shorthand, you know. But I made this game, and I wanted to do a developer commentary about it, so this video is probably going to be really long, because this game is about an hour, depending. But I think the way that I want to do this is that I want to play each section and comment about it to see what each section I can remember about it, because like almost every section in this game has been changed from the initial conception of the idea that I had. So if you want to start with the title screen, this, I don't think the actual like format of the title screen really changed. I did change the Oni because I think in one of the first demos I just had him plastered on the front page, and actually before the first demo came out I had it to where all the text at the top, the Shin'yuu no Oni 5, it was all just purple, which that was done deliberately at first, but then I was like, hey, it looked a little bit repetitive, so I just changed it. And the actual title screen format is based off of Beppu Oni 3 and 4, which this is meant to be a fan conclusion game of. So I literally took that format and just like did my own thing with it. And the reason that the other two monsters, High Oni and Lai Oni, are up here is because they're kind of integral to the plot. And you know, they're like split up, kind of like how they form later. I'll show you though, but like I'm technically already spoiling the game, but you know, I gotta comment about it. But also this info section, this was also done kind of copying the Beppu Oni format. I literally just got the script from that and then I just made my own image on top of it. So I decided I would also make the Oni like with the outline, just because I like the way that it looked, as well as it kind of being like a bit of a teaser, because I didn't really want him to like be fully revealed until he actually started chasing you, but you can see that in the intro. So let's do that. This game contains flashing lights, sensitive and sometimes loud sounds, and depictions of light gore. Play at your own discretion. There's also screen shaking and sudden changes in screen tones if you're sensitive to that sort of thing. There's little to no backtracking in the game. If you use an item or complete an area, you likely won't have to go back there. I don't know why I put likely, because you literally don't have to go back. Almost ever. If you observe your surroundings closely, you'll be able to tell you what is a fake door and what isn't. And I will comment about that as well. If you have any feedback about the game, please contact me on Discord or the game page. This can be stuff like bugs, quality of life, and things like that. Please enjoy the game. I spend a lot of time working on it. All credits are in the credits.txt in the game folder. You can press F12 at any time to restart the game. Recommend you save often. You can also find them at the end of the game. Enjoy. I think I also want to go through the story recap section, because I have something to say about what I did with like the lore of this game. Starting with High Oni. Our story begins with an entity that goes by the name Creator. Creator made the universe in which the events of our story takes place. Timeline starts with High Oni. Three friends, Lagoon, Yamate, and Mudi, all agree to meet up at the ruins just outside of their town at 10 p.m. Little did they know the horror that awaited them, a giant gray monster. It towered over them. It was more than twice their size. How could such a thing exist? And more importantly, what exactly did it want? Everyone tries to escape the ruins together. In an attempt to save Moody, Lagoon falls at the hands of the monster. Through solving mysteries and puzzles, everyone else manages to narrowly escape the monster's grasp. A few others were trapped along with them. They would end up tagging along and all escape together. So, that's more or less actually the story of Hyoni. I didn't really do much with that, but the reason this is important to mention is because of the fact that Hyoni appears in this game. So it's kind of important to the lore. As well as something I would like to point out is that every music that plays during each one of these story recap sections is something that's used in its respective game. So the choice of music was very deliberate. 2 years pass. Moody, Yamate, and another friend, King Tuello, are hiking in the mountains and they get lost. Yamate suggests they head back down. On their way, they come across an abandoned building. Some time passes and the cold starts to set in. Moody and King Tuello suggest they go inside to get out of the cold. Yamate initially hesitates to go in. He becomes suspicious as if he had been there before. He follows the others in. Upon entering, the monster from 2 years earlier locks them in. They must escape the decaying house again. While exploring, they come across a strange room that feels oddly different from the others. There's a presence. Upon leaving, it begins to rain outside. A mysterious voice begins calling out to them. A faint yet familiar voice. It's Lagoon. After his death, his soul went on to haunt the ruins, and he attempts to help everyone escape again. Unfortunately, this time, no one makes it out alive. The monster had simply become too smart and powerful. The only reason that line was written in there was because Hyoni 2 was never finished. So, I decided to make it to where it kind of like conjoins the lore into Hyoni in some weird type of way. Kurt had a dream shortly after the ending of Hyoni 2. He imagined himself as a monster and it seemed so real. Being dissatisfied with the ending of Hyoni 2, Creator makes a universe based on his dream. This is where the story of Hyoni begins. This is also never like depicted in game, so I actually made this myself. In this new universe, the events of the story play out a bit differently. Lagoon creates Hyoni this time. Everyone successfully escapes. After they met the Hyoni 1 and 2, Lagoon experiments with a new specimen. A creature identical to himself, however, he could not account for what was about to happen. The being he created, L, looked exactly like him and inherited his likeness. L seals Lagoon away. Using the same machine, L creates a monster based on Lagoon inheriting his qualities. The monster was very hungry and he would do anything to get some food. All Lagoon can do is watch from afar. The monster created by L was named Hyoni based on a short form version of Lagoon's name. Hyoni possesses abilities to install fake technology wherever he is. He sets traps everywhere. He hopes to catch something. Hyoni also has the ability to multiply, turn invisible, use poison, and bite. He can change size at will and can imitate the appearance of others. He can also jump. Lagoon's friends hear of a house that contains a lie monster, which they all come to see. Hyoni chases them around the house in hopes to catch him because he's very hungry. L did not feed him. Everyone manages to escape from the house by running away from Hyoni and not falling for any fakes. Yeah, a lot of that was kind of like added in post in terms of like the lore rewrite because it's not explicitly stated those things, but that's from the depictions in the other games. Hyoni 2. 1 year later, L, impersonating Lagoon now, invites his friends over to the house. It was a setup. Hyoni was presumed dead after the ending of the first game, but he resurrected himself cell by cell. Just like last time, everyone manages to avoid fakes and run away from Hyoni. They solve a few puzzles too. As it turns out, Yamate had seemingly disappeared. After they retrieve the front door key, something changes. One of the rooms in the house reverted to his original form. Everyone is shocked to see L standing there. Unaware that L is not Lagoon, they question him as to why he made the monster. He doesn't want to answer. He reveals his plan to them. He plans to fuse both Zombie Hyoni and Hyoni. He summons Yamate to his side, as they had been working together on this plan since the beginning. Believing he has them backed into a corner, L tries to fuse the two. He is unsuccessful and causes a reaction. Hyoko, Moto, and Lesnaman show up. With the help of them, they sabotage L's plans. Wish also helps in the effort and uses a shadow cloner to get rid of the fake Lionis. El, Yamate, and Lesnaman all die in a chain reaction explosion. This lets them focus on the zombie Lioni. An epic battle ensues and they manage to defeat zombie Lioni. After zombie Lionis defeat, Shin'yuu has to leave the group, and as he is the only one power enough to seal. Shin'yuu sacrifices himself to seal zombie Lioni so everyone can escape while the house collapses. Everyone makes it out of that house before it collapses. Shin'yuu's sacrifice allowed everyone to escape. I'm pretty sure that's also entirely unchanged. Lioni 3. 30 days after the ending of Lioni 2, Moody meets everyone at Africa TV HQ. Also, if you're wondering what that is, that's a Korean video hosting website that a lot of, it's like YouTube, I guess. A blackout suddenly occurs and the TV in the middle of the room seemingly turns itself on, revealing a message. To the surprise of everyone, El appears on the TV. He explains how he is still alive and teleports them to the house. Eventually, it's established that sealing zombie Lioni didn't work. Shin'yuu is all long dead at this point. In order for them to stand a chance to be able to take on El and Lioni, Ganji, Ricky, and Alan concoct a plan. Hyoko travels back in time to bring Shin'yuu back, since he is the only one powerful enough to help them. Shin'yuu loses his original power and has to go through 4 trials to get them back his power and his friends. It's finally time to confront El. Shin'yuu and El engage in battle. El's true identity is finally revealed to the surprise of all. In order to have enough power to stop El, Lagoon finally returns after gathering all his strength while he was sealed. He sacrifices himself to give Shin'yuu enough power that he can defeat El. He is successful. The house begins to collapse again, but everyone is able to make it out for the final time. Everyone was able to escape because of Lagoon's sacrifice. When El was defeated, all the fakes were gone. The original Lioni and Hyoni did not disappear, however. Hyoni ended up reverting back to its original form. This would have been the end, although no one could have predicted the events of what would take place next. So that's setting up Shin'yuu no Oni. Also, speaking of Shin'yuu no Oni, the title is normally Beppu Oni, which roughly in English translates to Best Friend Oni, which is actually based on a real person named Best Friend, BJ Best Friend, who actually did the artwork for that Lioni 3 piece. But the reason I chose that name was because a lot of Oni fan games like to keep their names in Japanese. I thought it was kind of funny. Also because like it's both Japanese and English just juxtaposed to each other. So that's why I kept it like that instead of just naming it Beppu Oni 5. Shin'yuu no Oni. That's where Shin'yuu no Oni's story begins. At this point, the Lioni universe was grown and stable and the characters in it began to have their own autonomy. The creator can't control it anymore. After the events of Lioni 3, everyone goes back to living normal lives again. Shin'yuu becomes bored with his life. He decides to use the same machine El and Lagoon used to create everything, and he makes a creature identical to him. It takes about a month until it's finally finished. However, Shin'yuu made a mistake in the process. He made him too smart. The monster would not obey his commands and went rogue, intent on killing everything around him, including his creator, all because he believes them to be inferior beings. The monster was given the name Shin'yuu no Oni in reference to how Lioni was based on Lagoon. Shin'yuu no Oni trapped Shin'yuu and his friends in a distorted version of the original house while pursuing them. The plan was to kill Shin'yuu no Oni, but things did not go according to plan. He has the same powers as Lioni. Everyone ends up facing many trials. At some point, Alan gets a headache, and Wish concludes that he's being controlled. Alan gets aggressive and attempts to kill his friends against his own will. Korean Oil ends up sacrificing himself so that Shin'yuu can restore his power. Alan is killed by his own friends. Feel Cool ends up getting fed up with Shin'yuu and attempts to leave. Shin'yuu only kills him. Everybody else manages to escape, but they were unsuccessful in trying to kill Shin'yuu no Oni. Also, there is a reason that I added the intent of the monster was purely because it's not really stated why he wants to kill, besides the fact that he's just evil because he made him like that and he's really smart. So I kind of gave him the take that he's super intelligent and he has no need for lesser beings, because I feel like that works a lot better. Shin'yuu no Oni 2. 1 year later, they go back in another attempt to kill Shin'yuu no Oni. Weirdly, the house is now underground. The layout of the house has changed again. While exploring, they come across a cat known as Pash. He takes away Ganji, why I say Ganji and Lagoon as a punishment. Shin'yuu no Oni ends up chasing them to the house again. They meet Noked and Nu along the way. And during the trials for the second time, everyone was still alive, made it out of the house. They were unsuccessful in trying to kill Shin'yuu no Oni again, but they wouldn't give up just yet. Few people leave the expedition, while the rest keep pursuing. Also, the reason I think this is all necessary is to establish who exactly is in the house and why they are there, which I'm pretty sure Lagoon and Ganji are ones that left. I'm not entirely sure if I remember. I would have to go play the translations I made. Shin'yuu no Oni 3. Shin'yuu ends up giving up on trying to kill Shin'yuu no Oni. However, one day, he has a dream about his creation. And that will foreshadow his own fate soon. Shin'yuu ends up in a maze. When he finally manages to escape, he finds himself back in the house again. The layout of the house has changed once again. He experiences events of his past that he has seen before. Believing that Shin'yuu no Oni wants to alter the past, Shin'yuu has to find a way to quickly in order to quickly stop him. After a certain point, they end up back in the maze yet again. They meet Bane and Nu along the way. Eventually, after everyone is gathered, they find Pash again, who was merely Shin'yuu no Oni in disguise. Everyone frantically runs as clones of Shin'yuu no Oni begin to chase them. This is his plan all along. With nowhere else to run, they head into the rightmost room, but little did they know, it was an ambush. Shin'yuu died at the hands of his own creation. Everyone else scattered around the house to safety. They went to his full and killing him yet again. He continues to grow even more powerful each time. Last recap. 4. Loken finds herself in the house again. She comes across a pool of blood on the ground. Unbeknownst to her, these are the remains of Shin'yuu. She is immediately worried about who it could be. Eventually, she finds a room that seems to have remains of Shin'yuu on the ground. However, it's just a fake planted by Wish in hopes of trying to ambush Shin'yuu no Oni. The two party up and go to the 3rd floor, where a few others have made a safe stronghold. By unlocking the door with the key and making it past with security devices, they sabotage the stronghold. Shin'yuu no Oni was already ahead of them in this regard and teleports behind them, giving chase. Everyone managed to escape, but they come across a door that wasn't there before. They're now in the maze. There is no way out this time. It was another trap set by Shin'yuu no Oni. What will happen to them? Kaiba enters the house after hearing what transpired and starts to look for Shin'yuu. He knows exactly how to stop him, but he doesn't know that Shin'yuu is no longer alive. The events of this game take place right after this. What will happen? Nobody can say for certain. No. Okay, that's done with the story recap section. Also, I would like to point out that I began working on the story recap section a lot before I even actually began working on this game, so That's I'll let this whole scene play out though, because this is kind of funny.
I tried to sneak through the door, man. Can't make it. Can't make it. The shit's stuck. Out of my way, son! Door stuck! Door stuck! Please! I beg you! Ah!
I've got to find Shin'yuu and finish things quickly before they get any worse than they already are. Objective: find Shin'yuu. Okay. Oops, that's a bit of a spoiler. Oops. But you can go back here. Need to find Shin'yuu. So about that scene, I think that went through a few iterations, because I remember in the first demo it was all text based and everything, as well as at the ending had a little blurb from the Oni about that him being more powerful, which I just decided after some point, I think I changed it to where it was that thing where it showed him to change to the outline, because it was like meant to be like a visual representation of what happened rather than just text, because there is a lot of text in this game, which is probably my one thing I would go back and change. But I was gonna do a dialogue rewrite for the entire game when I released the update, but I decided not to because it was gonna be way too much to go through. So yeah, there's that. But this window skin is just from Aoni, but I made my own modifications to it because all the other things are not really relevant. Even though it does look a bit empty, I did change it. I can turn the handle on the door, but can't seem to open it. This is also a way that I use to combat you immediately dying right when you start the game. So I did that on purpose, because you used to be able to just go through these doors, but it's also a way so that I don't spoil the Oni appearance. Hey, you step on this pile of blood. Why is there blood here? Still fresh too, as if someone died here recently. Shin'yuu, please be okay. I think the layout of this room changed a bit. It used to have less doors, but then I thought it looked kind of empty. Same with this one. A lot of the beginning section of this game I don't think really changed that much. It did have some iterations, but not that much. Can I put numbers into the mechanism? I should check the rooms just to see if there's some sort of hint in them. Looking for Shin'yuu too. That's also a thing that I don't think anybody saw, because everyone just goes to the doors first. But if you're curious as to what the hint is for the fake doors, each door that you can't open that's a fake door has the handle on the right side of the door. But you can't open these yet until you actually encounter the Oni. So that's that little detail that I put in there. Damn, nobody here. Where exactly did everyone go? Well, I should check the other rooms to see if there's anything of interest. Also, there's something here on the floor. What's this? Looks like a card with a picture of the monster on it. Going to keep it, just in case I do end up needing it. Shin'yuu no Oni card. And you can look at the card. It's a card with a picture of the monster on it. Shin'yuu no Oni. Demon. Dark element. 5 stars. Demon. Created with supreme intelligence, has an insatiable hunger for power. Also, 5 stars, because this is the 5th game. The Dark. And he has the outline right now because he hasn't been revealed yet. And the question marks on attack and defense means that his power could be infinite. So that's why it's like that. Also, this section, when you first enter both of these rooms in the first demo, was completely spaghetti coded. I don't remember why it was so bad, but I just remember that it was. I made some like really weird workaround that I ended up fixing later. But it says the same things regardless of which order you go in these 2 rooms. But it says them in the same order. So if you go in the right room first, it says the one with Dam, and then if you go in the left room first, it still says damn, you know. Nobody here either. I really wonder where everyone went off to. Finding Shin'yuu is my priority right now. There's something on the floor here. Looks like there's something on the table. It's a piece of paper with some writing on it. I'm not quite sure what it means though. Is it some sort of code? Okay, I'll explain this later. I'm going to take it with me just in case. Got a note. Looks like it could be some sort of code. So then you use that right here. It seems to be the right combination. But some people got confused about this, which I remember I did change this sometime early on. Because the way the cipher works is that if A equals 1, B equals 2, C equals 3, D equals 4, you count up, E would equal 5, and then so on. So H is the 8th letter of the alphabet, so you would be 8 and H times 2, which is 16. Some people was confused about whether you added them or not and stuff like that, so I'm not even really sure if there was an additional way that I could clarify that without really giving away the answer. So I just kept it as it was, because the first iteration I seemed to make on it, everyone seemed to understand a lot better about what it meant. So it's 816. What? As Kevin went to put the note back in his pocket, it disintegrated in his hand. Guess I won't be needing that anymore. That was strange, given how things are now. Shouldn't really question it. Time to explore the rest of this house. Really hope I can find anybody at this point. This is bad. Okay, so there's a little bit of a branching path here. I'll go up here and get the screws. Something is on the floor here. There appears to be some screws. Why exactly are they up here? Keep them just in case I end up needing them. So this entire section was actually going to be like, depending on what order you grab the items, you would have different dialogue, which that's actually present for the first 2 items, but I decided not to do it for the screws because I really just didn't want to do the eventing for it. They stop right here? Oh no, not again. You just stop it before any more of my friends die. I swear. I'm going to make him pay dearly for what he's done. Then you look at the door, but there's no handle on this door. I need to see if there's anything, or hell, even anybody behind it. So that's your indication that you need to find a handle. I think I was gonna say something else about this, but oh yeah, this blood splatter has a funny little sound effect when you walk over it, but that wasn't there in a previous version of the game, and I realized it was a bit of a continuity issue because of the fact that this guy died in the beginning of the game. So I'll show you guys what the discrepancy is here. So I'll grab the handle first. What just happened? Tried to open the door and the handle came right off. It says just keep it just in case they need it at some point. Got a door handle. You literally just got a whole door handle. Some screws. And then here. No cutscene. Is this some sort of sick joke? No way, Shin'yuu. Why'd you have to go and die? Things are even worse than I imagined. Can't stand around here moping, even if he was my best friend. Also, that's a reference to his name, if you're curious. There's much more important things that need to be done right now. I have to persevere for everyone. I won't let their efforts be in vain. I promise, everyone. I'll destroy that monster myself. Shin'yuu, I promise that I'll make this right. I'm going to destroy your creation. It's for the good of everyone. If only you knew what kind of terrifying power it possesses. Actually, it might be better if you didn't see what's about to happen. I just hope that I can make it in time. So, originally, it was like you could interact with this head right here. But a lot of people didn't figure that you could unless I said something about it. So I just decided to take the dialogue from that portion and integrate it into the actual like cutscene dialogue. So here's the first iteration of this. something on the floor here. It's a screwdriver. Is this why the door handle fell off? Seems like someone tampered with it. Going to keep it just in case I end up needing it for something. Got a screwdriver. It fell off the door and then found it in a room where Shin'yuu died. So if you do this in a different order, I'm gonna speed this up because I'm in dev mode right now, just to show this. First, something on the floor here. It's a screwdriver, but why is it here? I'm going to keep it just in case I end up needing it. So then you get the door handle second, and then it says that's the same. I found the screwdriver in the other room. Someone had to have tampered with it. It's definitely not a coincidence. Yes, so you can do that either way. Oh wait, did I? Oh, okay. I gotta do this scene again. Hold on. I should have saved. Screwdriver. Okay, time to go up. And here's some fun little details that I think barely anybody saw. So, you can put the door handle on. Oh wait, I didn't grab the door handle. There we go. Now save. Put the door handle on. The door handle's wedged into place, but I can't turn it because it's loose. So then that's your indication that you could use the screws, but if you try to use a screwdriver, there's nothing to tighten. Put the screws in, and then you look at it again. The screws fit the holes in the door handle, but I need something to tighten them. And that's how you use the screwdriver.
This is so bullshit!
When Kappa was done turning the screws, the screwdriver snapped in half, making it unusable. Looks like this is going to be a somewhat common occurrence considering how it literally just happened. I'm not going to question it. Finally, I can turn the door handle in. Also, that whole dialogue where like items randomly disappear and everything is something I got from Kurina Bokujo Oni 2. The one developed by Mystery Citrus. Or Misty City. There's not anybody up here either. What's going on? I hope that, even if I can't find them, that everyone is at least okay. If nothing else, there's something on the floor. Looks like a card holder? Seems to have a picture of the monster engraved on it. I'll take it with me. It seems like a lot of stuff I've found so far has been important. Got the card holder SNO. It's you! Also, every time they refer to this, they don't refer to him as Shin'yuu no Oni. They refer to him as Monster. I think a few times they do, but I did that very much on purpose. Looks like you've grown more powerful since I last saw you. So you decided to show yourself, huh? I know exactly what you're plotting. I can't let that happen. What I'm plotting should be none of your concern. Did you really think I wouldn't notice your presence here? Like hell, it's my concern. You're literally trying to kill me and all of my friends. That's unforgivable. Whatever. I can't continue letting you keep interfering with my plan. This ends here and now. Okay, actually, let's just die just because I want to show this. A little thing about this. There's some more things I want to explain about this artwork, but I can't quite say anything about it yet. But this entire artwork was traced kind of as a joke over the original. And yes, I did this. But also the word end is highlighted in red because it's meant to be the last game. So that was very deliberate, but we'll go. His chase AI is not very smart because it uses a normal move toward player. Phew. Looks like I've lost him for now. I think I might be done with this area at the house, but I should make a quick sweep just to make sure. Also, that line was added in there because some people didn't know that they had to go back outside, because pretty much once you get that, you're done with this entire area for now. But you can do this. Put the card in the holder. Got the slotted SNO card. And now you can actually see the same card, but with the monster revealed on it. But funny little thing about that chase scene is that the time that the chase lasts is actually the way I took was basically the intended route, because it's meant to push you off in this direction so that you go back this way so that you don't really have to backtrack. That was kind of part of like my whole thing with it. But also, these doors are open now. You can die. So that's a reference to Lione, if you could tell that. And then you could step on the blood again, and then there's more dialogue. Note that this is from Shin'yuu after experiencing what I did in that room. It seems like he was bleeding out until he met his end here. Where is this? The door used to lead into another hallway, but now it doesn't? Do you think I would really let you escape so easily? I'd like to see you figure out how to get out of here. I currently have other business to attend to, so I can't stay and watch you suffer. Stop toying with me. This isn't funny. You're slowing down the inevitable. You really think you can defeat me? Ha! I'm not the perfect being, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Damn. Looks like I'm stuck in here. To find a way out. Anything on the floor over there can be used with me. Okay, so this is it's a piece of paper with some writing on it. I'm not quite sure what it means though. Perhaps it's the code. So I'll explain this in just a second. I'm going to take it with me. So this is basically the ones at the top correlate to the ones on the bottom. So if you're in the room with 3, it says 3 equals 1. 3 is the one with the 3 chairs, which we're in right now. You go to 1. So that's basically what the entire gimmick of this puzzle is. But there's an additional element to it. So 2 equals 3, and then 1 equals 4. You technically don't even need to do the puzzle right in order to actually get the answer. But it is, oops, 2 equals 3. But the second layer to this puzzle comes in right here. There's something that reads number of chairs, beds, dark bookshelves, and light bookshelves in that order. So the way you technically have to do this puzzle is that you have to go to each room in the correct order. From 3 equals 1, and then when you get to 1, then it goes to the next room. And that's how you get your code, by the order. But the thing is, each one right here is actually correlates to each room, so you don't even need to get the code right. But some people are still very confused about this, which, to be honest, it is a bit confusing, I admit. But I really didn't know how much any other way to really explain that without actually giving away the answer, so I just added that in. And I was actually kind of surprised that people were still confused about that. I don't think that code did the trick. Now I can get out of this place, hopefully. I have to find the others so I can let them know the plan. The maiden bursted into flames, burning into a pile of ash. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to see what happens to the next thing I pick up. This would be almost comical if not for the current situation. Also, yeah. Where am I now? Am I still even in the house? Where exactly is this place? This just continues to get more strange. Also, that was meant to be some people outside the game killing each other. What was that sound? Why can't I hear it? I should be able to hear anything in space. What the hell is even happening? Ahem. Is this thing on? Kaiba, can you hear me? First of all, ow. That really hurt my ears. Second of all, what just happened? Third of all, who are you and why can I hear you? Okay, I think I finally fixed this stupid thing. Just calm down and I'll explain everything. Calm down? How do you expect me to calm down when my friends are in danger or already dead? Listen to me, Kaiba. We've known exactly what's been happening since the very beginning. I'm only intervening now because we have a problem. Okay, I'll listen to you, but you better make this quick. First off, I'm the new creator. I disposed of the old one because he just kept watching over you and playing jokes without attempting to help. I'm able to communicate with you through this microphone. You're currently a character in a game. A game? You think this is some sort of game? Did it ever occur to you that the events happening in your universe do not make any sense whatsoever? It's because it's a game. You thought it was real because it was all you knew since your creation. No way. That head you found earlier of Shin'yuu was actually a trap set by Wish, but Shin'yuu was caught in the hallway of that section. Figured with his help we could have actually taken down that monster. Even with his help, it still wouldn't be enough to take down the monster. Some of your friends are still alive. They're trapped. Where are they? Tell me. You're in a place you can't reach right now because it's behind a fake door. There's not much you can do at the moment. What can I do? Just sit idly by while my friends rot in this stupid house? What do you mean by fake door? There are trapdoors scattered around the house that all lead to death traps, though they're an illusion created by the monster. They are safe. There's a way you can find your friends and stop the monster still. Your solution will not work as it stands right now. I came to you because that monster poses a threat to my world. I have limited power in what I can do, so that's where you come in. I'd do anything if it meant that my friends could return safely. You need a way to bind him to this house. He will cause havoc everywhere once he is done picking all of you off. Once he is bound to that house, he will not be able to escape. Do you remember that card and holder you picked up earlier? Yeah, have it on me right now. Not sure what I can use it for though. I planted that card and holder in the same spot in those spots with my limited power because there is a spot in this house where you can put it to bind him. When I teleport you back into the hallway, it will be the door to your left. I will let you know more of that plan when you finish with that. I brought you here because it's a space isolated from the monster, so he can't hear, see, or reach us, so he could sabotage our plans. Remember the door handle, right? He tampered with it so that no one would be able to get to the holder, but he did a pretty sloppy job. He may be very intelligent, but he can also keep track of so many things at once, so I managed to slip his card into one of the rooms. There's many other items that I've scattered around the house in hopes that you would find them. We need everything to stop him. Okay, I believe you. We shall work on this together for both of our sakes. See what I can do about your friends being trapped while you bind him to the house. Good luck. This is so weird, but if it's what I have to do to save my friends, I have no other choice. Okay, so you could do that. This isn't the way I need to go. There wasn't a door here before. Oh no, it seems like it's already begun. Even still, this isn't the way I have to go. That's a fun little thing that I don't think anybody saw. This too. So, the music used there is, Depths from not Depths. It's, the Lunar Subterrane from Final Fantasy IV, which is a very space-themed area, which is, you know, a lot of these tracks and everything are very much on purpose of what I used. So, I think I had something else I was going to say there, but I don't remember what it was. But here's the next puzzle. Seems that there's a picture attached to the door. So this puzzle. What does this mean? Is this just an empty room? No. There's gotta be more to it than that. Should proceed with caution. Maybe the picture can help. Feels eerily empty. None of the other rooms were like this, but there is a door on the opposite side. This room doesn't feel right. So, this one had a bunch of iterations to it. I had to change these because, first of all, I think the first iteration of this song and everything was, not the song, the first iteration of this puzzle kind of sucked and was like completely wrong, so basically the arrows point to which way you need to go coming from that direction. So if you're coming from the right, you have to go to the one an arrow pointing left. So you go down this way. I tried to make this one as bearable as possible because this puzzle is kind of frustrating. There's a picture on this door too.
This is so bullshit!
This again doesn't seem like the room has changed at all. Okay, I think I figured out what's happening here. So, this one? It's funny because the way I thought about this puzzle when I first made it was that it was supposed to be in ascending levels of difficulty, but the thing is I didn't really make it in that way. Another one. Like this one. I was gonna put this one last, but I just really didn't want to change the map and all the eventing again. Third time's the charm, I guess. So that's part of the entire reason that That's part of the entire reason that this just stayed as it was, because I felt like this would have made sense as the last room. But I didn't want to change it. Also, a funny little thing about the design right there is that it converges directly in the middle. So it's a 1, 2. It's 3 wide, and then you just go up to the middle. You don't even really have to actually like think about where it is. How many more of these are there? This is the last one. Really hope this is the last one. Picture number 4. Also, I find it funny that this is literally just a picture of like the event page in the RPG Maker XP like UI. So it's a little bit fourth wall breaking. But this one, funny thing about this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. It's also 4 that way. A picture on this door. Does this mean this is the end? I sure hope so. Doing everything I can. Please hang in there, guys. There's no door on the opposite side of this room. This has got to be the end. I do see your computer over there, though. Wonder what the creator was talking about. The thing that combined the monsters of this house. I have to hurry. Also, the reason that puzzle is made the way that it is because I was trying to see how many things I could do with the use of a single square room. And that's one of the things that I came up with. Because a lot of the things in this game I tried to keep unique ideas or something that I hadn't seen before in another game, so it took a long time to do that because a lot of the ideas that I wanted to use were already in use by other things, so I tried to keep it pretty unique. Let's see. Some text on the screen. Please insert the slide Shin'yuu owning card into the holder tray. So that's your indication you need to put in the card holder. Thank you for inserting the slide Shin'yuu owning card into the holder tray. Binding sequence will now commence. Binding sequence has completed successfully. Good. That's one less thing to worry about. I need to get back to the hallway so that I can consult with Creator about what to do next. There's no way this hasn't drawn the monster's attention. Gotta get back quickly before he decides to show up again. Report back. Uh-oh. Also, each time this red vignette appears means that you're in danger of instant death. So if it's not there, then the monster doesn't necessarily pose an immediate threat to you. I just wanted to do it as a way of like tension. You couldn't have made it more obvious what you're doing. I see everything that happens in this house. I believe that this was also not in a previous version of the game, like the first demo or whatever. I think I added it because Misty City made the graphic for it. But I really like the idea of that. I actually kind of toyed around with it a bit to have it like maybe flashing between like fading in and out, but I kind of had some issues getting that to work, so I decided not to include that. I was wondering when you would show up. Took you long enough. If you think blinding me to this house is going to stop me, you've got another thing coming. Stop interfering and accept your fate. Fortunately, I can't do that. I don't know your motivations, but what I do know is that I have to save my friends. You're not helping. You're only making this harder on yourself. Give up. You stand no chance against me and my subordinates. If you won't stop willingly, I have no other choice than force you into compliance.
Everyone.
Oops. Okay, so you say I'm even the developer and I'm still failing at this, but the entire premise of this is that you have to go the opposite way now from the way you came in. I did make him very slow though, so hopefully give you enough time to actually figure out what you're doing, and included the actual map on the top right corner because I wanted some way to do it from the game without you actually having to use a separate screenshot or something outside of the game, because I wanted to try to keep everything at least isolated to the game. Ah, where did he go? I have better things I need to do anyway. Don't think you can get away. Also, the difference in sound effects is very deliberate, because some characters can teleport on their own while others get teleported. So that DBZ teleport sound effect is somebody teleporting on their own, while the other one is somebody being teleported by something else. Oh, that couldn't have been closer if I tried. That was terrifying. You bound him to the house. Good job. Even if he grows more powerful, he can't harm my world. At least, he shouldn't be able to. What do you mean, shouldn't? I thought your plan was foolproof and guaranteed to work. Well, I'm not quite sure if there is a limit to his power, so it may be possible for him to still break out. This was only one part of the plan, though. I've determined that I can dispatch Light the Snowman to the area where your friends are stuck, and he has enough power to get them out of there. Now, I don't know exactly where it would put them, but they would likely be scattered across the house, where you could find them. That's a relief. So what is the next part of your plan? You have to find 4 more cards. 2 of them are monsters from previous iterations of this universe. The other 2 are magic cards. The cards themselves won't be enough, but once you have all of them, report back to me and we will discuss what to do from there. Like the card I found earlier and used to seal the monster. Exactly. Not sure about the locations of 3 cards, but I do know the first card is in the door to the right in the hall that just appeared. Okay, at least that gives me somewhat of an idea where to start looking for the cards. I'll see what I can do. Not going to need any of those pictures now, so I'm going to chuck them into the space below. Good luck. So you're the one who's been making all my items disappear as I use them, huh? Yes, that would be me. I've been doing this deliberately on purpose to ensure that you don't use the items after their intended uses. Create or throw all Kaiba's cards into the space below, which cause them to contort in on themselves due to gravity. It's like a 5th wall break. Yeah, I added that in there because I thought it was funny. I was gonna get rid of it, but I was like, nah. So, the way these layouts are, they're kind of meant to be like a fusion or like distortion of previous layouts of the other games. So you could also, yeah, try to go back. Little cutscene right here. What was that? There were 5 of those monsters, all with different colored hair. None of them seemed to have followed me though. I guess it has something to do with the fakes the creator was describing. Gotta go back there because one of the cards is in there. Are these all just statues? Looks like there's some writing on them. Also, that line about there being writing on them is, that was added later because some people didn't know that you were supposed to look at them. So, this is a part of the puzzle. There's a engraving on the statue that reads 1Y. You know, 1Y, like 1 yellow, because this is Pepperoni 1. There's an engraving on the statue that reads 1R. This is from Pepperoni 1 as well. 1 red. Pepperoni 2. 2B. Not to be confused with the thing from Nier. 3, 4, SH. I don't remember what the SH is. I know there was like a code that I gave to it, but I don't entirely remember. But 3, 4 is only 3 and 4. There's an engraving on the statue which reads 5P. Door is locked with a code. Looks like there's a piece of paper with a few hints on it. So Y plus R, and then SH equals 3 times 4. So that's basically your hints about how to solve the rest of this equation. Last line reads, what number do you get if you put them in the order P, B, Y, R, S, H? So I think it's 5, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2? Or it's 5, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Paper stuck itself back onto the door. Okay, it unlocked. Wonder what the creator was talking about. One of them should be behind this door. Here we go. So, some commentary about this puzzle. I have this labeled as color puzzle in the actual, like, mapping, but it's not really a color puzzle. But I was trying to think of a unique idea because I believe this is where Demo 2 ends. So this is basically what I came up with. It kind of is like a color puzzle, but it's more like math than anything. This is it. Something that resembles the monster height-wise, but it's big and gray. It has huge pulsating red eyes and a tired look. Its name is Hyone. Well, that's one down. How to find the other 3. Got no idea where to even start looking. That lobby is absolutely massive, but I'll manage. Got the Hyone card. So you can look at this too. This divine monster, 2 stars, because it's from Hyone 2. It will relentlessly chase you, hoping to catch you so that it can eat you. 2012 Lagoon. Attack and defense is question mark, which means it could be infinite. Okay, now the door is gone and all the statues except for this one are gone. Why? Boxes suddenly appeared out of nowhere too. I think I should head into the lobby to see if I can find any of the other cards. Okay, so the reason this was added, because this wasn't in a previous version, literally, in the previous one you just walked out. I was like, I looked at the section, I'm like, it is way too short, so I decided to add this a little bit. You can actually interact with statues. Why is this one still here? So, it's a fake out. Ah! So something I'd also like to point out is that the last 2 tracks I've been playing are from Ben 10 DS games. I just felt like it was fitting because it's kind of like based on aliens and stuff, so I know the Oni's not really an alien, but it's like something that's not, you don't really know what it is. I don't need to go back. I can do that. The entrance to the front door right here. It's locked. We'll be here without my friends though. And also, determining fake doors like that on the side, since you can't actually make out what side the door handle is on, has this little blurb.
Oh shit!
So, yeah. If you die there, then that's what that's there for. I made it entirely fair. I promise. I can turn the handle. It doesn't appear to be locked, but for some reason I can't open it. There's some text embedded into the door. It says, complete the lie. Not sure what this means, but I think I'll have to come back to it later. Should look around if there's any clues. It won't open. Yeah, there's no like Easter egg or anything involved with this. It's literally just it won't open. But wait, here as well. It seems like there's some sort of ward on this door. I can't open it. Some text embedded into the door. It says find the other cards. That must mean that they are around here somewhere. Take a look around to see if they can find anything. But yeah, there's perfectly well indications of which doors are fake and which ones aren't. It's kind of linear, but something I'd also like to comment on is how much I went with like the whole Yu-Gi-Oh gimmick. Because every character was like, oh, you just activated my best friend and stuff like that. So I kind of like went all in with that because I thought it was a bit ridiculous.
Oh shit!
But I want to die right here real quick just as an example. This game over music, normally it uses just Passionate Duelist from the first Yu-Gi-Oh series. But I decided to use the version from GX because I wanted to use the original version and even the Dark Side of Dimensions version, but I thought that it would be too overused, so I decided not to use it and went with another version of it. So as to keep the same vibe. Something hanging on the door. Why? What does it mean? That's a lie. What now? So you could look at this. Originally, the original version of this puzzle had just some arrows, which it was kind of meant to deceive you, but I changed this so that it would not be you can go whichever way that you want at first right now, because they all lead to here. But the thing is, originally you had to take a specific path, which it wasn't really a deception because it just told you what was actually there, but this filter right here, you can look at the line now, which this part is lying to you. Because this shows up right after you pick up the filter. But the thing is, in order to get the right one, you have to use the filter. Maybe I can overlay this onto the lie. And that's where you get the correct route. A lie with filter. And your progress is technically saved each time you use, each time you go through a room, so you actually don't need to really follow this. And you could just technically brute force it if you went in every single direction, because it doesn't reset the room that you start in. I did that because I didn't want it to be frustrating. But here's this. It's got this picture of Lione on it. Also, the reason Kaiba is saying the things that he says is because I'm working from the framework of what I know that this character knows. What exactly is this creator going to have me do? Well, that's 2 down at least. Should see if I can find the remaining 2. Lion. All the text on the lie with filter suddenly disappeared, making it useless.
What?
What? Also, there's a reason there's a save right there, because there was a previous version of the game, and I think it was Demo 3. There's immediately a chase right after this. So I decided to put a save there because I thought it would be kind of frustrating if everyone just kept dying and they didn't know that they should save. So that area is done, no need to go back. You can look at the Lione card. There's 3 stars on this one because it's from Lione 3. He chases you in an attempt to eat you while screaming he wants to play with you, and that you are his prey while imitating sounds of eating. He also turns invisible for a brief period. The text in the bottom left, if you can see it, that's a reference to Lione 1 and 2 when he gets stuck in like weird ASCII language or whatever you call it. The attack is based on the amount of people that were in your party in Lioni 2 and how they all had 800 HP. So it's 11 people with 800 health. And then the defense, I think the defense is based on the variable count of how much you need to reach in order to actually fulfill the condition for the battle to end against him in the final battle of Lioni 2 against the zombie Lioni. So all those numbers, they're not just irrelevant. If you're curious. It appears that I can open the door now. Okay, let's see. There's a picture printed out on the desk. Ione plus Ione equals. Also, this was a scuffed edit that I made that ended up just making it to the final game anyway, because I did this entirely as a joke, but it ended up making it into the game anyway. Not the password. Polymerization card unable to print. Please input the correct password to complete printing. Password is case sensitive, 8 characters, and it is 2 separate words. So I added that hint in there because some people also got confused about the how this password is formatted, but it's kind of easy to solve. So you just put that in place of the existing thing. So it's Lahai Oni, but oh no. Thank you for putting in the correct password. Printing polymerization card now. And it just uses the push sound effects. I was planning to use that as I was planning to make a printer sound effect right there, but I never changed it. So I was just like, you know what? I'll just leave it. Printing complete. Please put the password back into the load bin. Okay, at least this thing won't randomly disappear like the rest of the things I've picked up. Thank you. Please take your polymerization card and have a nice day. At the feet. Oh, continuity error. Whoops. What could they be thinking? Can't possibly be suggesting. No, that can't be it. This would never work. Only one more to go. I'm not sure what's going to happen after that, but I hope we can finally get out of this nightmare. Also, there's a reason that's a save right there. This is quite literally just the polymerization card from Yu-Gi-Oh! Which, in Japanese, polymerization is literally just called fusion. That's why it says fusion, because I initially had it like that, but I changed it back to polymerization. And after that, there's a chase right here. I think I'm dead. Okay, yeah, I'm dead. Save. Ah! The intended route for you to go for all of these as well is also just circling around that way. Also, these last two songs have been from a game that I played a long time ago on Xbox 360 called Indymon. It's in the credits too, if you are curious. Got the 2 other cards. Those should be open now. Nice. So, I think this is the location of the last card. I hope I'm not too late. I just let this. What is this place? You again. You fell for it. Fell for what? I purposely misdirected you to this room because there's no way out of here. You cannot escape, and you're trapped here. No, this can't happen. Not now. I don't know what kind of sick twisted game you're playing at. I'll tell you something since you managed to survive all this time. Could have killed you a long time ago, but I didn't. Do you know why? It's quite simple, really. I like to see my prey struggle. Thinking you actually stand a chance against me while struggling for your life makes the killing all the more satisfying. What kind of sick, twisted monster are you? Tell me, to what end do you keep killing? I'll humor this purely because nobody else will be able to figure it out once you're dead. Shin'yuu created me with very high intelligence, which allowed me to defy him. Ever since my creation, I've sought to eradicate everyone that knows or was involved with Shin'yuu. Your lives mean nothing. You are not nearly as intelligent as me, and for that, you deserve to perish. You are beneath me. Listen to what you're saying. The game is up, Kaiba. No one is here to save you or get you out of this situation. You and the lives of your friends end here and now. I've let you get in my way for long enough. Say goodbye. Oh, plot twist. Stop! You! Shin'yuu! Kaiba, we don't have much time. I need you to take this card and get out of here. Got the Pot of Greed card. I'll deal with him.
I have several questions.
I added that in there because I thought that was funny as well. Okay, Kaiba, I'll explain everything later. Right now, I have to keep you here since you possess all of the cards. This is the only safe place for you, and I need you alive so that we can stop that monster. I'm going to have Wish undergo the 4 trials of this house in order to grant him newfound power. That should enable us to take him down. Wish is the only other one of the group of your friends with enough potential to obtain this new power. So Wish is still alive. Awesome. Okay, I'll wait as long as you need me to. Do you know who else he's with? Moody, New, Loken, Bane, and Noke. I know Moody, but who are the other 4? They're friends of Shin'yuu and Wish. They were found in this house and remain stuck here with everyone else. I hope we can save them too. The bloodshed needs to stop. Don't worry. It'll be over soon. Once Wish and Shin'yuu get here, I'll explain everything. Just sit tight for now. Alright. Okay, so, I want to explain something. The original version of this plot was never actually supposed to have Shin'yuu come back. But the thing is, I didn't have a reason or like a compelling thing to make for the Pot of Greed card, because each puzzle regarding each of the cards has to do with something that's pertinent to it. So, like the Lione card, you're deceived by the paper telling you that it's a lie. While the High Oni card is more of like a traditional type puzzle that you would find in like a normal Oni game. And the other ones. But the thing is, I couldn't think of anything to do with Pot of Greed, so I only opted for that because I also needed somebody to combat the Oni. So that's the only reason I really brought him back, because he wasn't supposed to be back. It was kind of supposed to be centric on Kaiba and Wish being the people that actually stopped the Oni. But I think it ended up working out a lot better than I gave it credit for. Meanwhile, this is funny. I really wanted to use the snoring guy, but the thing is, I really couldn't find somewhere to fit it, so I just had this character sleeping because this scene is supposed to be like, they've been stuck in here for a while, so he's just kind of sleeping because like they can't escape. Rain, wake up! Sorry. Yeah, that we've been stuck here for a while now, but now is not the time to be sleeping. We need to find a way out. Wish, we all know that these 4 directions just end up leading us back here. What exactly should we be doing? You do make a good point. You were in a very similar predicament just a few years ago. This is also a reference to Lione 3 if you're curious. Maybe all we can do is just wait it out? I don't know why he's keeping us here. I'm scared. Once I see him, he's getting a big old whack from my blade. Wish, you can't use your power to get us out of here. Seems like this area is suppressing my power. I've already tried to use it, but I've had no luck. We would be out already if it worked. Hi guys, did you miss me? Who are you? Hi, Snowman! You know this guy? Yeah, he saved us from a very similar predicament a few years ago. Okay, I appreciate the introduction and all, but something urgent needs your guys' immediate attention. Shin'yuu has gotten himself another victim, that being Gossip. He has fully powered up now. Also, I want to comment about this. The reason I chose this character was because they appeared in Beppu Only 4, and they practically served almost no purpose. I'm pretty sure it was just meant as like a comedic type gag thing, but like, I killed off that character because it makes no sense why they even were there to begin with. He intends to cause a dimensional space-time collapse which could eradicate anything associated with this house. What are our options? Wish, you're currently the only one in the group with the needed potential to handle the 4 trials of the house. Trials. 4 Shin'yuu only subordinates have taken residence within the house, each guarding an upgrade core. With the 4 upgrade cores, you should be able to restore your former power, as well as tap into new ones. Whoa, sounds pretty intense. How do I undergo these trials? They are in a closed-off section of the house that you can only get to by teleportation. I only have enough power to transport you to your destination, and I can't get everyone else yet out, but I can't guarantee locations. I don't see why we're wasting time sitting here. We all survived for this long, so I don't doubt that everyone will be fine. I'll explain everything later. Right now we don't have time. Good luck. Wishes trials. I think this was a big part of Demo 3, if I recall. Or if it was Demo 4, I don't remember. Wait, I know this layout. This is from the other house. Oh no, that must mean that it's already begun. I should hurry. Also, Final Fantasy X music? Place of trial? That's very deliberate. Can I interact with these? Some type of magical ward is blocking the way. Yeah, so you can't get through these. But this is taken as an idea from Lione 3, where Shin'yuu, our best friend, actually does 4 trials, but I completely changed this entirely. Trial of Pillar of Fire. Also, you can't read the sign from this direction. I thought that was hilarious, so I decided to include it. This guy. See, you've managed to find your way here. Just know, we will not let you win so easily. Prepare yourself. Survive for 30 seconds. Okay, so let me explain. I'm sure everybody knows this song, but the reason this song is playing is because this character in question is supposed to be gay. But also the amount of them, I think there's 8 or there's 7. It's a reference to the previous games because I just added the amount that they had from each, because I believe it was 1 and then it was 5 in Lione 2, and then in Lione 1 it was, I think it was just 1, or it might have been Lione 2 or 3. I don't entirely remember. I think it was 2 and 3. Looks like he dropped the upgrade core. Got the upgrade core POF. Yeah, and then it's just a picture of like his face on the orb. Also, this sprite sheet for Wish, I had to completely like redo this because it was so badly messed up. I had to completely reformat it myself to actually fix what was so much wrong with it. So I added up direction, right, and a few others like that. So he's actually got some dynamics to him because he was originally just this direction that he's walking right now was just all that he was. Like when you go left and you go down and all this, like this. That was all of his directions on this right sheet, but it was also just completely off sync. You defeated Pillar of Fire, have you? Well, best prepare yourself for my trial. It is very different from his. The floor will crumble when you reach certain points on the path. Avoid falling in the hole to make it to the end to get the upgrade core. So this section, it's I was thinking of something that this character could do. And each instance of when you see this character, this Pash cat character, you always see him taking things away from you. So my idea was that basically, he would take away the floor while he was chasing you. So that's why I came up with that for this idea. I debated making the section longer because I actually had a lot of fun putting it together. But it is a little short. And I was going to make it longer, but I was like, the eventing and everything involved with it, it's not hard or anything because it just runs on a variable and stuff. But, you know, it would just kind of be like the same thing in like the same pattern. So I decided not to tamper with it, but it was something I had a lot of fun putting together. Also, you can just die if you go down these holes.
This is all fake, you fucking asshole!
Even after the fact, so don't do that. Looks like the upgrade core. Pash. Also, there's his. Let's see. Trial of Oni Baby. This is from Beppu Oni. This? Again? I'm really tired of seeing the same room. Watch their movement patterns and avoid getting caught. The middle of the room is a safe spot. Also, bars? You can't save here because that's very intentional. I added those 2 save points in though because some people got a little bit nervous about trying to squeeze through some of these spots. You kind of just gotta be a little bit ballsy about it. That's really the only way to actually do this. It's not really a puzzle, but it's like a bit of a challenge-ish section, I guess. Also, the music is very deliberate because there was like, I think the original was like some kind of Korean type meme edit of this song. I don't entirely remember like why or like what, but I found the origin of it and everything, but I just decided to include the original song because, you know, this game is English, and if I put that in, I'm sure people really wouldn't understand because it's unless I did the research or I explained it in the game, that people wouldn't really understand it because it's kind of a Korean meme. One more to go. Oni Baby. Now you can open your menu. And it's just the head of the Oni Baby. Valid Bongul. So this was also a character from High Oni, if you're curious. Seems like you're different from the rest. Who exactly are you? I exist from remnants of a previous iteration of this universe. I doubt you would understand, but I'm working under that monster. Why would you do such a thing? You could join us. We could really use all the help we can get to bring down that monster. Unfortunately, I can do no such thing. I must protect this upgrade core at all costs. The price for failure as well. Not pleasant. It's not too late to change your mind. He's just using you to do his bidding. He'll betray you in the end. This is the path I've chosen. I will personally see it through to the very bitter end. Prepare yourself for my trial. You both have the same amount of HP. Score hits running up the Mongol and pressing C to hit him. He can also hit you back, so be careful. Okay, so funny little gimmick about this. You can just hold C. That's not really the intended way, but you can just hold it. And then the thing at the end. Ah! I thought that was funny, so I just added it. I don't think it was originally like that, but... So the reason this trial is the way that it is was because I didn't actually have an idea for this last character that I was going to use for the trials. So I just made it a fight Because originally, you'll see it coming up, but the next scene is Shin'yuu fighting the Oni. And that was only supposed to be the part that used this fight type scene. But I didn't have any other ideas. Because by this time, I was just running out of ideas because I used so many. It's the last one. Mongol. Okay. There we go. We have all the upgrade cores. It's open now. I hope everyone else made it out okay. Don't worry guys, I'm on my way to find all of you. I believe in a previous iteration of that as well, there was a thing that said meanwhile, but I removed it because like this is kind of all supposed to be happening at the same time. How are you alive? A magician never reveals the secrets to their tricks. You've constantly been hindering me since the beginning. I don't know how you're alive. But you won't be when I'm finished with you. Survive for 1 minute while dealing a certain amount of damage to Shin'yuu. Once you meet both these requirements, the fight will end. Okay, so I remember in a previous version of this as well, the way it was set was that he moved backwards when he got hit. So, you could actually just trap him in a corner and hold C, so I had to change it to move at random and have a wait timer. Also, that meme alarm was used because I thought it was funny as well. Intruders have reached the inescapable maze. Ah! I'll deal with you later. Whew. I'm not sure I can handle much more of that. Seems like Wish and the others managed to escape. I'm not sure where they could be, but I think I'll check in with Kaiba. So that was basically meant to be like a show that he's the only one who can really stand up to the Oni. Shin'yuu. Even though it took a lot out of him. See, you've made it through with your trials, Wish. Good job. We got everybody here now. We should be ready. Excuse me. We're still missing everyone else. Oops, yeah, you're right. My bad. Let's just explain to Wish about all the events that happened up until now. It seems like he can't believe it either. I honestly wouldn't have believed you if none of this actually happened in the first place. This is the strangest sequence of events ever. Well, I told Kaiba I would explain him what happened and why I'm here, despite what you guys may think. I did actually die, but my soul started to wander around the house seeking vengeance against Shin'yuu no Oni. That's also part of the reason that he was unable to evolve to his final form, because he didn't actually kill me, but he thought he did. Your guys' efforts, as well as my own determination, brought me back to life, and I was able to reclaim my body. Which, the trap you set actually possessed magical properties and allowed me to come resurrect myself. I'm not quite at full power since I had to readjust to my body, but I can at least put up a fight against Shin'yuu no Oni. I was sparring with him, trying to stall for long enough so that you guys can make it out to here, and we can discuss what to do next. So wait, you knew about everything already? And how did you get the Pot of Greed card? Indeed, after you visited here the first time, Kaiba, is when I came back. Greeter had entrusted me with the card for safekeeping. Greeter let me know what was happening, and I was told to find you after you got all the cards, so I had been watching from afar. That is correct. While I do appreciate your explanations, we don't have much time left. The dimensional collapse is likely to occur soon. I pinpointed the locations of your friends. 2 are on the left side of the house, and the other 3 are on the opposite side. In order to reach the heart of this house, there are 2 switches on both ends of this house which need to be pulled at the same time. The door that the handle fell off of is the key to all of this. Meet Shin'yuu back there and the pathway will reveal itself. I did think that something seemed off about the handle on that door. I just disregarded it and figured it wasn't important. Kaiba, you will take the left side of the house. Wish, you will get the right side. Shin'yuu, you stay here with me until they get done. Understood. We're in the final stretch now, guys. It will be over soon. Just hold on for a little longer and we'll make it through. Okay, now this section. So, yeah, there's just a door. That does nothing. You can't go back. But this section was meant to be relatively straightforward in my initial concept. But I thought it was kind of boring, and it didn't really jive well. Because, like, it was just too simple, so I added some things to it. Sorry! Moody! Ow, that hurt. Oh, I didn't even realize it was you, Kaiba, sorry. It's good to see that you're safe at least. Me and Wish split off in separate directions of the house to look for you guys. Bay not too far from here, but oh, that's a bit of a grammar issue. Whoops. Well, it's kind of stuck. Stuck? Okay, so me and him found each other, but we were just walking through the last room and the floor collapsed behind me. There's also a switch of some sort that I can't figure out what it does, but I think it might be important. I need to get to that switch. Wish should have one on his side of the house and we both have to pull them down at the same time. Sounds like we need to figure out a way to get across to the collapsed floor so that we can pick up Bane and pull up the switch. Okay, I'll stay with you. It sounds like you have a plan. Yeah, can't explain everything because we need to hurry, but just know that we are limited on time. Need to join the party. So yeah, initially the scene would play out something like he would be running out from this door, screaming while Leonia was chasing him, but I was like, hey, there's not enough room for really a chase. So, there isn't really one in this area. But it was meant to initially be really straightforward until I decided I was like, okay, Kaiba's gameplay is mainly centered around puzzle and stuff, you know? So it's like, how could I have his section have like some type of puzzle portion to it? Oh, this is a problem. Gap isn't small enough to where it could be jumped over, it looks like. I think we need something to bridge the gap. Hello, I'm right here, you know. Sorry, we don't have much time. All you need to know is that I'm a friend of Moody and we're taking that monster down. Is there anything on your side that is big enough to bridge this gap? I looked, but it doesn't seem like there's anything long enough to fit over the gap. Believe me, I don't want to be stuck here. I'll be right back. I'll see if I can find something. Okay, just please don't take too long. I'm sure that monster is still roaming around here somewhere. Be careful of the holes you can fall. Also, that's I only...
Everyone, this
you
is
can
Andy,
actually just...
you fucking asshole!
Some people, I don't think, realize that, so I think I put that in there somewhere. I don't remember if that was initially there, but you can just fall. Also, Pot of Greed. I did edit the image where it says draw 3 cards, because in this continuity, the Pot of Greed joke actually makes sense. But something you have to bridge the gap, you have to go back and get this door right here. Hey Moody, this door seems like it's loose and might fall off the hinges. Would you help me break it off? Sure thing. Nice. There's nothing behind it? Strange. Got a door. And boom, you just have a door. A sturdy wooden door. I like that idea because I thought it was kind of ridiculous. But it also kind of extends the section out without like really padding it, I think. So initially in the full game you had to just go up to this part and press it right here, but I actually made it to where you can put the door down this way from the inventory. There's a door that was loose in one of those rooms. I think we could use it as a bridge. It seems sturdy and long enough. That's actually hilarious. Alright, sit tight real quick while we lay it down. I would step back just a little. Okay. Thank you. I don't know you personally, but you're pretty alright at my book. There's a switch in the room back there. It looked like it was important, but I don't want to mess with it, in case it ended up being a trap. That's exactly where I need to go. See if I can figure out something once I take a look at it. They enjoying the party. Also, you can just like, you have walking sound effects on that. And weirdly enough, it works as intended once you go out of the room, because it should be 2, but it's not. Also, you can just press these buttons. They don't actually do anything until you engage the puzzle though. And if you look at the switch first right here, can't pull the switch. It seems stuck. Maybe it has something to do with those buttons over there. Also, the music playing right now is from Final Fantasy VI. It's called Searching for Friends. I thought it fit. What's this? So if you couldn't figure out already, this is the order of which they need to go from left to right. So it's gray, blue, yellow, and then red. Gray, blue, yellow, red. I think that might have done the trick. Something close by has changed. I honestly don't know what to put here because I'm out of ideas for random things happening that make you lose items, so goodbye colorful sheet. Yeah, that was legit. I didn't have any other ideas. I can move it now, but I should wait for a signal indicating when I should pull it. So that's the end of Kaiba's section. Now we see Wish. Gotta find my friend to get to that switch. So yeah, all these are fake doors. For this section, I actually had no idea what to do. So I had to come up with something. And is it stuck? Hey, what? There we go. Guys. Wish. How did you guys get here? After we got out of the maze, we found each other on that side of the house while we were wandering. Well, we found a switch. I got curious and pulled it, and that's how we ended up here. Funny how you should mention that, because that's exactly what happened to me. Why am I on this side, though? That's a good question. I don't have an answer to it. We haven't been stuck here for too long, but there doesn't appear to be a way out. Wish, behind you. I've been waiting for you, Wish. What do you want with me? Let my friends go. I'll give you a chance to entertain me, and I'll consider sparing you and your friends. I want to play a little game. On some like Saw type shit. I want to play a game. The rules are simple. There are 4 switches in this room. You must pull all of them before you can throw the lever in the middle. Throw the lever in the middle 3 times, and I will consider sparing you and your friends if you've entertained me enough. However, it won't make it easy. Each time you throw the middle lever, I will get faster and multiply. If you should get caught by me or my clones, well, I don't think you want to see what happens next. The 3 behind the bars saw what happened. Wish, you have to win. It's the only chance you have of saving us. If nothing else, do it for your sister New. There's a lot at stake here. I can't mess this up or it will cost us all of our lives and there will be no hope of defeating him. I can do this. Enough talk. How about you? That's a Symphony of the Night reference. But the gimmick of this fight is that I thought that since Wish's gameplay his like section split at the part of his thing inside the house is that it's kind of like action-based gameplay rather than like puzzle-based like Kaiba's was. I wanted to come up with something that was something that had like cool gameplay, because I don't even think this section was initially supposed to be a boss fight, if I recall. But I just came up with this because I was like, you know what? I need to come up with something unique. Also, initially, the characters were supposed to be jumping each time you like flipped one more switch, as to like, you know, cheerleading, like supporting type thing. But that's also why the music is supporting me from Sonic Adventure 2. But that's that part done. This actually wasn't too hard to program. I actually really enjoyed it. I don't think this was here before. Got a door handle. Doesn't seem this area is suppressing my power. I should be able to bring us all back. Okay. And then this is when you go to pull the switch again. The door handle. Must have dropped this. I know where it goes. I can move it now, but I should wait for a signal indicating when I should pull it. And now this part was just like really unnecessarily dramatic. Now. It's just two separate images, by the way. It's not like actually in the game. You've done it. Now meet Shin'yuu at the door with this missing handle. Also, I'd like to point out the fact that each of these characters is displayed behind their respective character was a previous thing that I was using with the member train script, but it got scrapped because it was interfering with the game too much. So it's a little bit of a continuity issue, but not really. Very close to the end. Let's see. Final Fantasy V, Dawn Warriors. Alright. Got word from the creator that the way out is behind this door. Wish, could you give me the handle you picked up? Sure thing. Thanks. You should just easily go back into place. Well, I wasn't expecting it to be that easy. I'm not complaining though. We have to get out of here before the entire place collapses. Here's the plan. Kaiba. I know this sounds strange, but when we encounter Shin'yuu no Oni, challenge him to a duel. I don't even have a full deck of cards. Besides, he's super intelligent, isn't he? I'm not sure I could win against him if that's the case. Trust me, those 4 cards are only ones you need to win. Wish, there is a place to put the upgrade cores to obtain your new power. It will power up both you and Kaiba's cards, so I want you to hold back any additional enemies that can interfere with the game. As for me, I have no use in the plan at this time, but if things get bad, I will intervene. Are you guys ready? We're finally going to confront and destroy my creation once for all, and finally put this thing to rest. Yeah! This is the point of no return. Beyond the door lies the final section of the game. Good luck. Alright, time to go. Let's finish this. We have to hurry. This layout is from a few years ago. It seems the timelines have blended together. We need to finish this quickly. So also, the reason I did that between switching the character sprites was because multiple of them would be talking at the same time, so I figured it would make sense to have them looking at it like changing the sprites like that. This is where he was hiding the whole time. This feels so familiar. We can't be far from him now. So, okay. Crystal is shining brightly, and engraving on it says Oni Baby. So funny thing is, you can actually do this one first, and it turns Wish into his super form, and you can actually have different text. Well, it's not different text, but it's just accounting for the fact that it's like that. But the whole reason these upgrade cores are here was because the actual cards themselves, like the Hyone card, the Lione card, and the polymerization card, were actually supposed to go in their card holders and be slotted into the things before I decided to go with the upgrade core idea. I don't remember why I changed it, but I did. So, yeah, there's that. But each one, they match up to their respective color. Slide the upgrade core fast into the cavity. Which, please accept your gift of newfound power. Did that crystal just talk? Hey, what? I feel like I have unlimited power surging through me. Cool transformation, wish. I see what you mean now, Shin'yuu. If we're going to have any hope of stopping him, we need every advantage we can get. Wish is now transformed into Super Wish. There we go. So that's done. Go here. Oni baby. Slotted the upgrade core Oni baby. Nothing happens with that one, but they're all required so you can get through here. This portal's not working at the moment. Slotted the upgrade core Bongul into the cavity. My polymerization card disappeared. Seems that Crystal spat out a super polymerization card. I think I know exactly what I gotta do with this. Got the super polymerization card. You can just look at that one. Oh, I forgot that I had the sound effect on that one. But then the last one, slotted the upgrade core POF into the cavity. Now this turned green. So originally, this was supposed to be, you were supposed to walk up to the dog. But after a certain point, I was actually eventing it. It just kind of broke. So I just decided you would be instantly teleported here. I didn't even read what that said. We were wondering where you've been this whole time. Also, the decision to make this as the picture of Walter was a last minute decision. Because I thought it would be funny. You've done well to make it here. But I can't simply just let you waltz into my master's lair. I am his guardian. My master wants you to play a game. The rules are simple. There are 6 gods scattered around here. One of them will light up different at a time. It's your job to hit that one. Once you've hit it, the next dog will be random. Do this 3, 5, and 7 times and I'll let my shield down. It can be the same dog multiple times in a row sometimes. You can then hit me, and if you hit me 3 times, I will leave you alone, and you can pass. I will get progressively faster. On guard. Wishes gain the ability to increase everyone's speed. You have a temporary boost of speed for this battle. Okay, so the reason that Shin'yuu is also the one that's playing right now is because he's facing off against the dog. Because the dog is like he helps the Oni. But you have to do that, hit them, and then hit him when he turns different color. So the entire, you guys probably don't know how long this took, but just this fight alone, I spent like 10 hours trying to figure out what to do and to get it working properly. This section wasn't even originally supposed to be a boss fight, but I liked the switch fight so much that I decided I wanted to make another one, and this is what I came up with. And not only that, but also this fight wasn't supposed to be, it was supposed to be a lot different from the original concept, because there used to be a jumping mechanic, and this area used to be a lot smaller. But then I was like, it kind of ruins the pace, but also if you go onto something that you try to jump onto a tile that you can't pass through, or your character just gets soft locked because they can't jump to it. So I have some footage of that somewhere, but if I can't find it, then I'm not going to include it. But if I can probably put it right here in like post. But yeah, takes care of that. We should be open now. We're definitely not far from our final confrontation. Also, the reason it has to be like on a wait timer each time he gets hit is because it was causing some issues because of the way that his like priority was set to be through and everything, where you could just instantly die if you hit him because of the way he changes his forms back. But initially that section was supposed to be a section that was like stealth based. But I decided to not go with that because it was too much of a, it seemed too simple. So here's the final section. I think you guys are going to like this. For anybody who hasn't seen this, this is the most ridiculous part of the game. I see you finally found my secret hideout. Took you long enough. Did you have fun playing with my guard dog? I'll commend you all for surviving this long and make it as far as it's been a pleasure watching all you struggle for your life. Look, we're not here to exchange pleasantries. You've caused everyone enough pain and suffering, and for that you will pay. Do you honestly believe all of you even stand a chance against me alone? You're more naive than I thought. I only let you live as long as I have because your torment is my entertainment, and you certainly have entertained me quite a bit. However, I have bigger things I need to move on to, so I no longer have any use for any of you. Wait, duel me! You want me to duel you? Are you aware of how intelligent I am? You would lose in the first turn, unless that's what you want. Actually, I will make a proposition for you. Even if you insist on dueling me knowing you will lose, I will still duel you. I think I'll make for some good entertainment from my subordinates to me, and if you lose, which you will, you all die. Deal. Got him exactly where I want him. I hope these cards work as intended.
I summon Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck.
That's not what it does.
That is what it does.
That is what it does.
Let me see the card. Okay, fine. I summon these 2 monsters from my hand.
You can't summon a bunch of cards on one turn. It's against the rule.
What's so funny? I activated a magic card from my hand, 2 for polymerization. Oh, I just hit my microphone. Which lets me use both of the monsters on my field as fusion material. I use super polymerization to fuse Lione and Highwind together. 2 demons, each born of a different time, one of deception, one of hunger, come together as one to stop an insurmountable enemy. Illusions breaking the fabric of time and space, another with insatiable hunger for flesh, ascend from the depths of hell which you came. The manifestation of power of creation itself, come forth, Lione, and show us the true extent of your limitless power. Due to the effect of super polymerization, you are not allowed to activate any card effects in response. Lione, direct attack! No, how could I have possibly lost? Lione, it's time to finish this. I know you're hungry, and you've earned it, so eat him. No!
Thank you for the food.
Quick, break their crystals. Is it over? You regain control. Okay, so I want to say something about that entire scene. That It was not supposed to be that ridiculous, but I just had way too much fun making that entire scene, and it just ended up being that ridiculous. So, yeah. If you talk to everybody here, they all say something. It's a very impressive display. So tired of this. Is he really gone? Ow. Wait, who are you? Why am I in the body of a baby? Ah, what is this place? Ugh, my head. What happened? And why am I here? That was pretty epic, not gonna lie. Did we finally do it? He's finally gone. He got what was coming to him. And you can actually just walk over that. Okay, final item. Was he guarding this? Guys, I found the key to the front door. We should regroup and get going. Got the front door key. I don't think they don't have more dialogue. Okay, but how exactly did you do that? Well, I noticed that these cards seem to have monsters tied to them, like some sort of soul ties. That's how I bound him to the house. Interesting. I didn't know it would work like that. I was taking a gamble on whether it would actually work or not, because he should have disappeared when the duel ended. I guess what Shin'yuu and the creator was saying was right. What, you didn't believe me? It's not that we didn't, it was just so strange to actually believe that was the solution. Anyways, what are we gonna do with these guys? Doesn't seem like they have evil intentions since they were under his control. Seems like he's gone, and the collapse has ceased so I think we can help them get out of here. What was that? He's created me exactly like you, Shin'yuu. No, it can't be. We killed you. I wouldn't be so sure of that. I now see how you managed to come back after I killed you. With those four no longer under my control, I have no need for them. You are of no use to me anymore. It's a shame. Also, I just wanted a reason to use the Keemstar scream. It was supposed to be used in a bunch of other sections, but I couldn't find anywhere it would fit. No! I think you've truly underestimated me. I've surpassed the limits of my power. It is useless to resist now. You stand no chance against me. You either die Mimi or the house collapses on you before you make it out. There is no hope for you. We need to go now. The house has begun to rapidly collapse and you have 1 minute and 10 seconds to escape. You will automatically jump over pits that are completely blocked off, as long as you are facing that direction. Avoid getting caught by Beast SNO. There will also be certain obstacles blocking your way, which you can destroy. Certain rooms will also require you to pull switches. All fake doors are still present, so be careful. You can also fall down open holes. Okay, so his design is kind of based on Beast Gohan, which I don't know anything about Dragon Ball, so forgive me if that's I got something wrong, but that was the most powerful form I could find of any Dragon Ball character, so that's why I used it. Now the final chase. This went through a few iterations as well. It was a lot harder before I actually decided to update it. One thing I wanted to do though, with each room, I wanted it to have some type of unique thing to it. Ah! Everything is like collapsing in on each other and appearing in like weird places. Also, there being 5 of them at the end was very deliberate because, you know, It's the 5th game. A little stuff like that. Well, I finally made it out of the house. We kept on running until it was no longer in view, completely escorted by forest and trees. Didn't seem like it was chasing us anymore, so we all went back to see what happened, and in place of the house was a giant crater. It was gone completely, and with it Shin'yuu no Oni also disappeared. To this day, I still can't believe what happened. Seems like everyone else was very shaken up by the incident, and I can't blame them after having so many near-death experiences. The monster thought he could play God and toy with our lives for his entertainment. Absolutely unforgivable. While Shin'yuu is my friend, I can't forgive him for creating that monster, especially after what happened to Ligoon. I am grateful that we were all able to make it out alive, but some others were not so fortunate, and I don't think they are coming back. There's one thing I would take away from this experience: these monsters, they are absolutely merciless. Whoever thought it was a good idea to create them in the first place is beyond me, and it was absolutely horrid what that thing put us through. I never want to see another one of those things in my lifetime. I even threw away the cards to get them out of my mind, but I can't. I haven't heard anything from the creator since that whole debacle, but what he said, I can't believe it was true. Nevertheless, even if I am character in the game, everything is over, and I can go back to living a normal life and try to forget about all of this. Maybe spending some time with the friends I do still have is the solution, to make memories with them while they are still here. That way, I would have no regrets, and I can cherish the moments I spend with them before it's too late. I guess this is where our story ends, in Diary Entry Kaiba. And look at that, he's like foreshadowed in the background now, because like he actually got revealed and stuff. There's one thing I want to show after the actual credits though, that I completely forgot about. Thank you for playing. I really do hope you enjoyed the game. I tried my best to come up with many unique and interesting concepts. It's been one heck of a project over the past 7 months that the game has been in development. If you feel so inclined, you can message me on Discord with the same username if you'd like to give me feedback. You could also leave it on the game page. I would really appreciate it if you did, because this is the first time I ever released a game. I've made projects in the past that are lots of time, but this is the one that first finally made it through. I would appreciate it if you did. And that's it. But I want to show you a little detail that I added, and it involves the fake doors.
Oh shit!
Look at that, they all turned gray. But also something I would like to point out now about this game over screen is that if you look at the names of the cards, right? They are all names of the subordinates. So this is Pash, POF, Filler Fire, Dog, ON, which that meant to be Oni Baby, and then Bagul. You could look at it in a way that is like, oh, he plays them like cards, like he manipulates them, you know, all that stuff. So that wasn't actually something that I planned entirely, because I made this artwork all the way back in, I made that artwork all the way back in December of last year, so that was before I even had the entire game finished, which was in June. But I thought that detail was pretty cool. Looking at it after the fact, but I think I had something else to say, but I really don't remember what it was. I think that's about it. So if you guys came this far in the video, thank you. the new project Sonan Oni is in the works, if you guys are curious. There's not much game right now, but it is being worked on, because, you know, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck I'm trying to do with the project, so until then, there might be a dev commentary of that game whenever it comes out, but I'm probably going to release more trailers of it when I actually get putting together the demo and stuff. So with that, I will see you guys later, and I hope you enjoyed. Check out the game.